Hey, how's it going, guys? So I've been working on my 240 lately, and I did a little bit of work to it the other day, and then I was thinking to myself that I should have made a video because I haven't done a lot of videos of this car. And the main reason is I haven't really been doing a lot with it over the last few years, but I've been trying to get it back on the road, and I got some cool stuff for it. And so I thought I would show you guys what I'm doing, some stuff that I got for it, and just more information on the build and the history of this car. I've had it forever. I think I got this car back in like 2006, 2007, something like that. So yeah, I've had this car a very long time, and I've done a lot to it over the years. So let me show you what I got going on. Alright, so I'm going to start with the engine here. So I originally bought this car back in 2006, and it was bone stock. It had the stock KA24DE engine in it. And, there was nothing wrong with the engine, but I quickly pulled it out and I put an RB25 in it. I had an RB25 in it for a while. I had some trouble with the RB25. I ended up breaking the bolt that holds the idler pulley on for the timing belt. Bent all my valves, so I had to do a bunch of work to it, got it back on the road, and I was never really happy with the way that it drove. I was actually trying to drift at the time, so it was kind of like my drift car, and it was just so heavy in the front. I didn't like the way that it drove. It just was too prone to understeering. So I took the RB25 out, traded it for an SR20, put the SR20 in here. And that was many years ago. And, got a frog in my throat. So for a long time, it was just SR20, stock injectors, but it had a S15 ball bearing turbo in it. And I had a boost controller. I was running a little bit higher boost, and ended up getting Niztune on it. And then probably about 4 years ago, I think, the turbo went out, and so I put a new turbo on it. I forget the brand of this turbo, but it's like a GT2860R. And I put 750cc injectors in it. And it hasn't really been tuned at all. And what it does is it fouls out the spark plugs real quick. So you can see here's the spark plugs that I took out of it. So I just put new spark plugs in it, and I started it up. It seems like it starts up real good, but it's running really rich, and I need to get it tuned. So before, having my friend Brandon come over and do a little bit of street tuning on it, I'm just, buttoning some things up, making sure everything's right. So I'm going to be setting the ignition timing, and the reason why I'm messing with the ignition timing is I noticed that, so I've got a boost gauge here, and it wasn't really running enough vacuum. It was running like 5 pounds more, I guess is the right way to say it, or less. I guess that'd be the right way to say it. It wasn't running as much vacuum as it should, and so I looked for vacuum leaks everywhere on the manifold. I checked like the seals on like the injectors, and I just couldn't find anything leaking. I didn't do a boost leak test on it. I didn't have one of those fittings for the turbo, but I let it run idle, and I sprayed brake cleaner everywhere, and nothing changed. I made sure everything was tight. I added some zip ties to some vacuum lines, and while I was there, I made sure all the clamps on the intercooler piping was tight, which, that wouldn't cause it to run not enough vacuum, but, I did a lot of that kind of stuff, making sure everything was good. and I couldn't find anything wrong. So now I'm gonna do the timing, and so I've got my timing light out. So I'm gonna be doing that, yeah. So another thing. Okay, so this is kind of the overview part. I'll do some more about the timing here in a second, but another thing that I recently did was I got a this I did like a couple of weeks ago. I put this Chase Bays power steering kit on here. So it's got the Chase Bays power steering reservoir, just super nice, and these nice lines. It gets rid of that weird loopy thing. It goes straight to the rack, into the pump. Yeah, really cool power steering kit from Chase Bays. So I got that because it was just leaking like crazy, right? And I didn't want to mess with, I gotta figure out the leaks, you know. I just, threw one of these Chase Bay kits on here. And while I was doing that, I did find the leak. And basically, right here on the pump, where I've got this new fitting that's bolted to the pump. This is what used to be there, and it had a hose, and there's an O-ring right there, and it was like completely flat. So I'm pretty sure that's what was leaking, but whatever. I could have just replaced that O-ring, but this looks much nicer anyway than this factory stuff. It made it a little bit more simple. So that's the other thing that I did to it. Getting it just to get it back on the road, roadworthy. And I also got something else, something cool. So right now I've got some S14 seats in here. And I recently helped my friend Shane move back to Oklahoma from Florida. And as a thank you for helping him move, took a week of my time and flew out there and drove back and stuff. So it was a lot of work. So to thank me, he gave me these 180SX seats, which I'm super stoked about. If you were to buy these seats, these are like $1,000. So very happy with that. And I've done a lot of work to make this like a 180SX replica. So I've got the Type X aero and the kooky tail lights, and I've even got the cool fake 180SX glass. It's actually a sticker, but it looks like I have the 180SX glass. But yeah, so it'll be even more of a 180SX replica with the seats. So I'm going to be putting those seats in. So the plan today first is to get the timing set. Once the timing is set, well, I'll probably pull it out first of all before I mess with the timing. At least the back out so I don't choke. Man, it's running so rich. But yeah, I'll get the timing set, and then it'll be ready. I'm gonna verify my fuel pressure, bump it up a little bit, as recommended by Brandon, and put those seats in. So yeah, super stoked about those seats. All right, here we go. So, Tom insisted on coming out here to help. Well, here he is. So I've got his harness on him, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let him roam around in the backyard with this harness. Since he has his harness and his leash, he'll be easy to spot, he'll be easy to catch. You want to be outside too, don't you? Don't you, love? I'm going to put him out in the backyard. Let him explore. Okay, so I looked up timing on these cars, and you know, just to understand like what the marks mean on the crankshaft. So you can see here, 0 or top dead center, or I guess that's bottom or top dead center, is second from the left there. That's 0. So my timing line is the kind that's got a dial on there, and I would unhook it for a close-up, but I got it all hooked up already. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the timing light to 13 degrees, and then I'll have the timing light, and I'm going to line it up with 0, with bottom dead center. So that mark that was you know, second from the left. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start it up. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. Then I'm going to unplug the throttle position sensor, and that's how you're supposed to do it. And we'll see if the vacuum increases. We'll see. Anyway, we'll get it set. Okay, so it was like really close. So I just moved it a little tiny bit, but it's not idling at 1,000 RPM. It's a little bit lower, which makes me worry that it's not accurate, but we'll see. I'm just gonna tighten it down, the cam angle sensor, and you know, we'll tune it and see if it runs any better. It's running super rich still. So the neighbors over here are so trashy. Just yelling at her dog like a hillbilly. So anyway, I'm going to tighten my cam angle sensor down. Sorry, I got distracted there. And I'm going to put my new seats in. Alright, we're on a side quest because I found out I've got a wasp building a nest on the door. You see him? Well, I found out that wasps do not like brake cleaner. It is not a spot for your nest. And where did that thing go? I like to stomp them afterwards, just to be sure. But brake cleaner normally gets them. It works even better than actual wasp killer. But yeah, I got a ghost in here shutting this door all the time. So I have another side quest, and my other side quest is I gotta find the cat, because I found his harness. Well, that's his leash. I found his harness. He got out of his harness. Wasn't tight enough, I guess. So I gotta figure out where that cat went. And I have a feeling I know where he's at. I think I saw him run back here. There's my junk that needs put out for Big Junk Day. Here's my poison ivy garden. So, look how good my pine trees are doing. So, I planted these a year ago. That one doesn't look much different. This one's doing a little bit better. But look at this one. These were all planted at the same time. But that one is just doing way better than the rest of them. Looks like an actual tree instead of just a little twig. But I don't know why these other ones aren't doing that good. Yeah, so anyway, here's my Colorado blue spruce. I need to find that cat. There's Jeremy's car. It's got some big things coming. Some big old camshafts. Where's that cat? This is why I put the harness and the leash on them, is it makes them a lot easier to find. Because cats are like camouflage. Oh man, here's my other poison ivy garden. Good grief. A lot of poison ivy. So he might be out front. Let's see. Oh man. Oof, it's poison ivy city. Where is that cat? I need to do some yard work. There's a cardinal. Whenever Tom's got his harness off, he is very hard to find. Sometimes he gets down in the ditch. Not very often. And I doubt he's down there with all the water. Well, hopefully he turns up. But I'm just gonna carry on and get these seats put in. So these seats are really easy to replace. I mean, there's just 4 bolts, 14 millimeters. So yeah, I'm gonna swap these seats out. This dirty floor mat dusted off. Repping them Mazda 6 floor mats. that. Oh man. So a little more history on this car. So I've been doing a lot to get it back on the road, but I've also been doing a lot of putting it back to stock. So I used to have a harness bar and racing harnesses, and I recently got S14 seat belts for it. So it's just the regular seat belts. Man, look at that. That looks so good. Another thing that I did recently is it used to have a switch panel right here. And, you know, ignore my terrible craftsmanship. I'm going to clean that up later. But I got a new radio, put that in there. It used to have a switch panel, and it did the ignition. And it had, it was like accessory on, start, you know. And I didn't have an ignition switch. So I had to get a new steering column, but I got an ignition switch for it, so it actually uses the key. So that's good. So that I can actually have a radio. And I even put speakers in it, and it works. So yeah, I've been trying to put this thing back to being more of a street car. Make it more enjoyable to drive. Not just driving around the track, but just more enjoyable to drive it on the street as well. Because I drive it on the street more than I do on the track. You can see my dash is looking pretty greasy. Wipe that down. And the reason it looks like that is I regularly, well, I don't know how regular, but I put coconut oil on the dash so that it doesn't crack. But yeah, anyway, so now I got to get that other seat swapped out, and we'll be good. Then all I got to do is find my cat, so we'll see. There they are. Look how easy those are to replace. Just 4 bolts. Super cool. Let's see how it looks from through the windshield. Can't really see with the glare. Super cool. I am super stoked about these seats. One thing you'll notice in all my videos, if you like watching airplanes, come over to my house. Also, if you like pollen. Looking good. Alright, so got the seats in. Now all I gotta do is find that cat. I don't know where Tom is. Man, those look good. I love the color. Oh, he's just chilling in the poison ivy. You see that tail? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you overstimulated, Tom? Are you overstimulated? Are you gonna hiss at me? Look at that tail. Are you gonna hiss at me? Oh yeah, there you go. Where's your harness? Where's your harness? So yeah, he's gonna hiss because he's so overstimulated, all the sights and sounds and smells. Alright, Tom, I think you've had enough fun. Who are you hissing at, Tom? Who do you think you are? Say hello to YouTube. You're gonna get me some subscribers, Tom. You're gonna get me some subscribers, Tom. Aren't ya? Aren't ya? Oh my goodness. He's gonna get all the subscribers. Oh man, we got a spicy one. So I'm probably gonna have to end the video so I can wrangle this vicious creature. What are you doing? So, yeah. See you guys next time. Say bye, Tom. Say goodbye, Tom, to the viewers. Bye, guys.